All right, appreciate it, guys. As we head into week two, I couldn't be more excited, and we have some banger matchups on tape for y'all tonight, and I cannot wait to get started. And I got Jaegers alongside me tonight. How you doing, bro?
I am doing fantastic. Just had a banger of a series myself. And I'm ready for some more Rocket League action magic. Ready for the stream to get underway.
I feel that, and if it's anything like our last Monday stream, it was a complete banger. We had several best of fives that went the full distance, and I think we probably will have some similar situations here tonight as we have three matches that are probably going the distance. And we do start off in the Novice League, where we have Frost taking on the Crows. And these two teams are kind of interesting, Jaegers, because they just basically swapped players before this week, with Icarys going to Frost and Angel going over to the Crows. So just swapping players straight up. I mean, what can you tell me about these rosters?
Absolutely. If you didn't mention it, I was. That's a very interesting thing, especially before two teams play each other. But the Crows and Frost both nursing a 1-1 record after week one. Still early, so both teams have time to make decent pushes for like 17 win runs. But so far, the Crows, I mean, they have Icarys, It's a Chad, and a backup he, and Icarys and Chad were also prospect last season. On the flip side, on Frost, last season they went 15-6 before falling to the Spitfires in the grand finals. They have Icar. They don't have Icarus anymore. They have I believe it's Angel is
It's
no.
Icarus, Rooney, and Crispy Waves now. So they only have three people in the roster now. So it's
I
interesting.
I did just muff that. My notes were all wrong.
Your muffs
Uh,
are probably like 3 hours old, and that's just enough to mess you up with the craziness going on in the Novice League. And both teams were able to win on Monday, but did fall flat on Wednesday. As I think the Frost took down the Spitfires, which is a pretty solid win, getting some revenge for finals last season. And the Crows took down the Fusion, but they did lose to Ninjas and Five on Wednesday. So both these teams looking to bounce back. And I got to get the official Jaeger's prediction because I mean I feel like you're pretty accurate at these. And what you got for me?
I don't like to jinx it, but I am decently accurate, and I see Frost taking this one, and I'm just gonna throw a dart at the board. Say they're taking it in five. I've been saying people are winning in four. That didn't work out last week, so that's why I'm calling Frost in five.
Okay, I can respect that. And being a Sub-Zero member myself, for the sake of my work, I'm gonna say Frost 3-0, and I hope they make me sound smart. But I'm just throwing a dart on the board as well, hoping my team makes it happen as we do get onto the field here. Both teams rocking different shades of blue, and that's not gonna confuse anything at all. As the early whiff comes through, getting those nerves out quickly. As I guess we'll call him backup for now because that is not an easy name to pronounce. As he will dunk out one. Crispy taking possession of this, but easily dunked out and a big banger on net, and
Oh,
that's just straight into the top corner. Rooney, the mechanical beast, getting started early.
Rooney just kind of taking a pot shot there, taking a searching shot, and Angel just wasn't up for the task. Maybe not warm. Maybe it's the stream nerves. But regardless, Frost goes up early, 1-0 in this one.
Maybe Rooney just knew, hey, I know Angel. I've played with this guy. He's for my team. Maybe if I just throw a shot on net, he's going to let through, and that's exactly what happened. So a nice attempt by Rooney, who I have to call out. This guy is a mechanical monster. For the Novice League, he has so much pop-up potential, but Angel's going to get his revenge right away, and we're tied up.
Absolutely, Angel's gonna make good on the previous play, putting one in, and we're back at a tie ball game early on in this game.
And all Rooney can do is watch it go into the back of the net. Very similar situations, but either way, we basically find ourselves back where we started. As Rooney just gonna leave this ball for Icarus, but he is dunked out with a very nice 50 from backup. And now is it Chad taking possession with this, but with the bump coming through, that kind of ruins any play he had possibly coming through. As Crispy kind of fakes himself and backup right where he needs to be to finish it
Oh
off. And
no!
Icarus with the own goal, and backup's gonna take that all the way.
Backup was just being annoying there on Icarus, just kind of giving him no space whatsoever, and it's going to cause the unintentional own goal as Icarus is going to try and flip away and he's accidentally going to tap the ball into his net. Magic, this is already a high-scoring game, and we're not even past the first minute.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even call it bad defense. Some nice shooting so far. I mean, you can call it own goal, whatever you want, but that was a good job by backup to get it through the defense and get it to a very dangerous situation. Rooney able to beat out one as a whiff does come through. And backup trying to race back to his net and will clear to the side.
the
Rooney has
pass.
a shot and he cannot slide it through. That would have been a beautiful passing play, as you said. Now Icarys trying to get back before Chad can make this too dangerous for the team, but he will take control of it and get it across to the midfield. Angel and Rooney going to collide in the midfield once again, and really goes nowhere, stays right where he was at the start. Icarys beats out two. This is getting dangerous, but backup, solid third-man rotation will clean things up and get it past Rooney as well. As backup, he is kind of getting things going completely here for the Crows, just running the show. And any offense they're going to find, Jaegers, it has to come through backup, it's looking like.
Absolutely. The man just oozes with pressure as Rooney's going to clear that one away. Ball's going to bounce down, but Angel is going to put in the back of the net. Magic, you said the offense is coming through backup, but Angel so far has put almost every goal in the back of the net.
I mean, I guess you could say the offense comes through Rooney, no matter what net it is, as he just puts it off his own crossbar. Lucky he didn't go in, but nobody was able to really clean up for his mistakes before it was too late. And a nice shot coming through. And after an early goal is let in by Angel, this has been a complete runaway show for the Crows as they're showing their new roster with some great chemistry in this first game. Not a very big sample size, but for what we've seen, it's like they're pretty solid on the rotations. Aside from that one open net, or one miss, I should say, it's been clean defense as Icarys taking a big 50. His backup dives for that in the Finnick, and he's going to send that straight to the sky. Angel trying to get it to the mid, but Rooney, nice rotation, is going to cut him off. Actually able to fake out one, and Icarys right where he needs to be to make it dangerous, but as well as I said earlier, the rotations from the Crows looking solid, and that's not really what you usually expect from a new team here, Jaegers.
Oh, absolutely not. As Icarys backflips on the goal line, leaving Rooney to get it. And Magic, it seems like this team has been playing together at least more than, just yesterday. It seems like they've maybe gotten scrims or something in. Maybe this trade was a long time coming, but regardless, this team is playing off each other really well, and they're just putting a bunch of pressure on this Frost defense.
I absolutely agree, and so far, it's like Crows came out on top in this trade. Is not to call it Icarys, but he is sitting at the bottom as Angel is way up there in the scoreboard with pretty much 5 times his points. As a banger comes in net from Rooney, and a beautiful save by Chad. Crispy tries to clean it up. He can't find it. He will get a demo for his troubles. A nice pass off backward to make it dangerous still, but the defense holding strong still as we round around. About 1.5 minutes left in this game. Nice demo coming through, but still a better save. As Chad has an angle in this, gets a pop off the wall, but basically 3 people ready to make that clear, and nobody were the Crows able to capitalize on that really bad situation for the defense of the Frost. But they don't really have to score here. They just watch the clock tick away, and they're doing a very nice job of capitalizing on their strengths. As a slight little whiff comes out here from Rooney, but it kind of pays out in their favor as it does fake out one. And the Crows just have to kill time here. What I've seen, they haven't shown any cracks in their armor.
Absolutely not. Well, on Frost's side, the only one taking shots is Rooney. He has 4 shots on his team. Not much participation from Crispy and Icarys, as I believe Icarys is going to put one in the back of the net. A little bit of lanyap there, but that doesn't really change anything. I feel like Crows are running away with this game 1, and it's back on Frost to reset.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that goal really matters that much. That's kind of a, we need 2 goals quickly, so just send everybody at it. Problem is they sent all 3 players at the same ball in a spot they probably couldn't get back to, but I mean, if you want to come back from 2 goals in 30 seconds, I guess you got to play aggro. So you can't fault them, but either way, Pros looking very solid in this first game. And if the mechanics can come through for Frost, I have no doubt that we're going to have a long series. But my prediction is not looking very good. I mean, yours is kind of alive, as that is just going to roll into the net. And not much to talk about this goal, as it's just a go next for Frost.
No, yeah, I mean, look for Frost to bounce back in this one. I feel like they've kind of went just with the go next mindset. With the 1 minute left, there's not much they can do except flush that thought down the toilet and just try to grab a little bit of momentum for the next game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I mean, Icarys has been very quiet in this game. He is, I think, one of the top 3 highest MMR rated players in Novice League. So it is surprising to see one of the better players start off slow, but it is stream nerves. It's a new team. So I did kind of expect a slow start, though I did predict the Frost 3-0. I didn't think it'd be this much of a just out the gate firepower from the Crows, as Angel fits in nicely to this roster and will easily tally on 3 goals for the hat trick and really just take his team across the finish line for the game 1 victory.
I mean, I guess after that first goal in, Angel just popped off, just lit a fire in them, and they led their team with 3 goals, the hat trick.
Yeah, and you have to think the comms for Frost after they scored that first goal, like, Angel back to his old ways with the whiff. And that man just slapped him in the face with 3 goals instantly and took control of this first game. And that has to feel amazing if you're Angel. Just run away with that game by yourself. I mean, his team played a part, but Angel, he was locked on and he was ready to win that game no matter what he had to do for it. I mean, Crows, they're going to take the game 1, but I do expect a completely different team in this game too from Frost. So they are all such mechanical players, and I think this team is nothing short of capable of just running away with this series going 3-1. And it's Frost, so it's on Crows to keep that firepower they had in that first game and show us what they're really capable of. And this is a team to be reckoned with in the long run.
Well, you see, Magic, Frost really needs this win. After losing the first one 5-1, if they lose this next one, it's all but wraps for them, because there's no way they're stealing back the momentum in a game 3. I may eat my words, but I just don't see it happening if they lose this next one.
Yeah, but they are starting off in the right spot as Rooney gets a banging clear downfield. And some early pressure is exactly what you want to see. And a double commit does come through, and that could spell disaster as 2 people from the Crows racing back to this one. Backup tries to get a double, does get a little bit of it, but it is not really what he's looking for. Is a Chad is there to clean it up, and another dime from Angel and a 1-0 lead for the Crows.
Angel and Chad are just on the same page. Angel banging it off the backboard, and Chad there immediately catching the defense sleeping. And if Frost wants to come back, they need to be quicker on defense.
Yeah, and I mean, one way they could do it, you guys saw the Frost tried to score with a banging pass off the backboard, and 2 players double committed, weren't able to shoot it. Crows just put it off the sidewall, a little clean, not too complicated play, and it worked out as Rooney has to dive at this one before backup finds another one into the back of the net. Is a Chad with all the time in the world, he just had to let it go in himself, and another one off the sidewall, as that is not what he wanted to see, as the post will be his demise and send it downfield for Frost. As if that gets into the back of the net, it is panic time for Frost, but they will not have to panic just yet as a banging clear comes through from backup. And that is a early commit from Chad. He was there and almost put it on target. It's still dangerous in backup. He just has to wait for the ball to waterfall down to him, and he will collect the goal.
Backup 50s the ball up, and knew it was coming down immediately and beats out Icarys, who did pre-jump a little bit. But if you're Frost, you need to be quicker for the ball. I don't know how Novice does it. Do they do backboard defense? I'm not sure. Regardless, they need to get someone on the backboard to stop that, because you can't just let the ball just fall down on the back of your net, because you're just a sitting duck at that point. As Rooney brings out a little bit of mechanics and the possible own goal, helping him out there a little bit.
And this is in my notes. Watch out for Rooney to be the pop-off mechanical player if he is given space. And that is exactly what he had. Full boost to work with, and nobody up to challenge him. And Rooney puts on a clinic with the air dribble. And that hopefully gives some life to the Frost offense. That other than that 1 goal to start off the game 1, they have not found the back of the net until Rooney is able to, really give them some life here. Hopefully send them into a tie game here if they can keep that offense going. As Crispy is going to hit the top of his own goal, and another through. And that is painful here for Frost as Crows get another one.
Well, Crispy did do what I asked. He was up for it, but unfortunately he did hit the roof of the goal. And the Crows are just going to capitalize, putting that one in the back of the net. And with whatever effort Rooney had to cut the lead in half, the Crows just made that a non-factor and put themselves back up by 2.
And you really got to feel bad for Crispy. He's where he's supposed to be on pretty much all these rotations, and he finds himself at 8 points about 2.5 minutes into the game, and that was his chance for a free probably 75. But he does hit the top of the goal. A banger from Icarys is going to put this back into a manageable game.
Well, Magic, you did ask for Icarys to show up, and there he is putting a banging shot a little bit of tomfoolery, maybe a little bit of faking coming from the Frost side. And I mean, Frost going to answer back right away.
And I'd have to say, you cannot let this game slip away and not expect to get swept if you're Frost. I mean, either way, this is the pivotal game that probably decides which way your season's going. If you start going down the rabbit hole of losing games and fall to 1-2, there's no saying what can happen with this roster. You go from former finalist to starting 1-2. That's not a good start, and they really have to make it happen here on this game too. Or I think it does get a little scary as a 50 comes through and it goes right to where Rooney's able to collect it. Enough boost to make a move and a nice demo comes through by backup to shut down any chance of a play. Crispy pushes it off the sidewalk, cannot collect it himself, and backup will do so. Pops it over Rooney.
No.
Rooney does get the demo, but there is no other goalie. Backup is just too speedy, and he'll get another goal.
Backup is too quick. No one challenged right away, and then all of a sudden, Icarys and Rooney both challenged, double commit. Crispy wasn't able to get back in time, and the ball just bounced in the back of the net.
I mean, this is painful to watch as an AGM for Frost because I mean I feel like they're beating themselves right now with so many little mistakes. They can just clean so much of this up with some clear comms and just let the pressure not get to them as too many people push up and is a Chad with a third goal.
Isn't Chad and the Crows already meeting their goal total from last game with a minute 30 up? And Magic, I mean, it's not really mechanical issues as much as it's rotation issues from Frost. I don't think they're trusting each other. They're going for double commits. Icarys is going to have a shot here, but isn't Chad was ready for it. But I know it's novice Magic, but it just seems like this team doesn't trust each other.
Yeah, you have to feel like the Crows, they got the best situation possible. You make a trade and it works out on day one like this with flying colors. That has to feel great. But if you're Frost, you're on the opposite end of that situation. As with 3 goals down with a minute to go, I'm not sure it's going to happen with the defense we've seen from the Crows. And the pressure is still on. Is it Chad with a pop-off game? He's got 4, and he's riding this victory for the Crows.
Icarys gonna go for it. Rooney just gonna get the unfortunate backflip, and Chad with his 4th goal of the game is going to capitalize. And I will say this, like what happens with the Crows, the amount of chemistry they have in that short amount of time doesn't ever happen. That's very rare. So it's quite possible that this Frost team does just need a few games under their belt to get further situated. But you gotta remember, Magic, it's still the beginning of the season. People are still figuring each other out, figuring out how to play. And you can go 1-2, you could go 0-3, and you still could win the chip. These are 18-game seasons. And all it takes is a little momentum shift, a win streak here or there. And, I mean, your season's changed. But right now, the Crows are absolutely dominating Frost and, looking like a mighty contender.
And it's not a very flashy team effort right now for the Crows. It's just solid fundamental rotations and not making almost any mistakes. And that is so rare to see, as you said, from a new team. As I guess we'll call it one for the road for Frost. Get a little momentum as Rooney is going to put another one through. But as you said, if Frost doesn't wake up here, I don't know if you hit the panic switch yet. As I think Crispy was actually their sub going into this week, and Icarys is new. So Rooney, the only retained player on the starting roster for Frost. You kind of expect them to start off slow, and that's exactly what we've seen in these first 2 games. But, I mean, let's just say Jaegers is an absolute genius, and he knew this was happening all along, and he predicted the reverse sweep. Let's just say that's what's going on here. I'm down for it, and I'm ready for a long series if Frost can show us something.
Absolutely. Well, they need to get started early in the next game, Magic. I haven't seen barely any demos coming out the defense, and like the Crows have had a solid rotation. But they need to get demos. Frost needs to get demos. Only having 2, they need to mess up the rotation, mess up the goal line, and leave open nets for their shooters to shoot. Because right now, this Crows defense is playing very well.
I'd have to agree. And if you're Crispy, you got to get involved in this game. He was such a capable player, and having 46 points cannot feel well when he sees that at the end of the game. So I've seen what I need to see from Rooney. He's looked great. Icarys looked a lot better in this game too than he did in game 1. Just playing his part, did finally have a goal. But Crispy has to be that third man to come through and make the difference and be the spark to get things going. Because I feel like they are just missing that little bit, and it's a lot of just third man committing too far, and a lot of time it is Crispy. So if you clean up those mistakes, I don't think you find 6 goals into the back of your net from the Crows offense. So we'll see what happens. But I really want to see Frost turn it around and give us a longer series.
Absolutely, and like you said, it starts on the defensive half. They were scoring, but I mean, you can't win whenever you let 6 goals in the back of your net. That's just not something that happens. And it's just little mistakes here and there that the Crows have been capitalizing. And with a good kickoff here, there is potential for the Frost to get an early goal. But the problem is, in game one, they got an early goal. They need to get the momentum, and they need to keep it if they want to win.
Yeah, and early on, I don't even know if it comes down to just momentum. It comes down to staying calm after you get a little bit of a pressure, because it seems like every time they get onto the Crows' half, they're not there for very long. It's an instant overcommit and then a big booming clear into a goal. But I would have to agree, momentum would be very helpful for a team down 0-2 in a series that is on stream. So we'll see how that goes. As Rooney with a free ball here. This is a little tap, tries to find Crispy. Crispy unable to find the touch he's looking for as Icarys looking for a 50, but ends up just banging it into the midfield,
goodness.
right to backup, and backup puts a shot on target and does make 2 people die for it. A bump comes out from Izachat and it gives him a free ball. Rooney is there to have his teammates back and he cleared out Icarys with a banging clear downfield, trying to relieve some pressure. Starve out this Crows defensive boost. Has Rooney a clutch dunk right there. That might have been straight into their net. And this is probably the longest stand of offense we've seen this entire series, Jaegers, from Frost.
Oh, as Rooney barely misses on their end right there. But it seems like Frost is finally getting a sense of urgency. They realize if we lose this one, we're done for the night. As Icarus passes it to Rooney, unable to get the touch on target. But so far in this game number 3, Frost have had all the momentum as they're just setting up shop on Crow's half.
And it looks to me the big difference is they're covering each other. It's not just this guy goes and I hope he makes the touch, and if he doesn't, we're just screwed. It's if this guy gets beat, I have his back, and we have a solid rotation going on here. As a lot of times, it's like one person's beat, and then out of nowhere comes another Frost defender to save the day. And that is a big change from the first few games. It's Crispy, very awkward, but he is able to make the touch he needs. As that shot is dangerous, but it's not on target. Izachat could not get back to this. It's off the side post. A shot has to come through off the crossbar, and Rooney as well off the crossbar, and it rains through, but finally the overcommit does come through, and maybe a counterattack opportunity, but Rooney, after his shot, does collect the corner boost from the defensive side, and is able to race back before it gets dangerous, because that's where we've seen a lot of Crows goals come through, the overcommit from Frost, as Izachat just bullies his way into the offensive half.
I mean, Frost had a few good chances there, and they just got overly excited. And on the opposite end, Izachat is going to do it himself, putting it past 2. And he doesn't care about the pressure. He doesn't care about the momentum. Izachat is going to put his shots on target, and he's going to give his team a 1-0 lead.
I have to agree with you. If there's a player this series so far, it is undoubtedly Izachat. Angel and backup have looked great. But it's what, 5 to 7 goals, I'd have to say, from Izachat is just ridiculous on stream. This guy is not missing, and he's looking great. And he does give his team the early lead before anything gets too spicy, because I don't think either team was looking for a low-scoring affair after the few games we've seen. As this is very dangerous. Crispy and Rooney dive at it, but Izachat, the man of the hour, gets in the way. Icarys trying to get another one into the box, but he does not have the boost to work with. Crispy trying to collect some boost and collect the ball at the same time to let his team get back in time, and will do so. A nice dunk by Crispy, and the Crows racing back into defense. Off the sidewall, or off the backboard, is the pass from Crispy, but it is cleaned up. And we haven't seen very many threatening situations besides that one double commit where a diving save saves the day. And you have to think that was probably the chance to send this game to OT, Jaegers.
I mean, with a minute 30 left, anything's possible, but not if you don't leave anyone on defense, as Crows are looking to make a counterattack. Backup's going to get a good 50, but Angel not able to follow it. And Icarys, Rooney, Crispy could have a counterattack here as Icarys gets a bang, but nobody home as backup is going to clear it up to Angel, who passes it forward. And magic. If if Frost wants to win, if they want to at least get a game in the series, they need to go down because Rooney is going to put one in the back of the net off Icarys' pass.
And the Crows just got so complacent. They had 3 people just standing still, watching the ball roll towards them. And Rooney is having none of that. He just dives at it and slots it home. He has 3 goals in this series, and I don't think anybody else in his team is anywhere close to that. I think Icarys has the only other goal. And right now, Rooney is carrying the load as he does tie up the game with under a minute to go, and hopefully give this series some life. Because I am not looking for a just dead 3-0 sweep, and I don't think Rooney is either. As he looks for a pass up to Icarys, cannot find it. Rooney just waiting back for something to happen. Nobody takes a touch, and he decides to be the one to do so. Crispy with a shot opportunity, and the save from Angel is clutched. Rooney off the backboard looking for the setup for Icarys, but Icarys looked for the demo instead, and it will not come out the way that Frost was hoping. As the last 15 seconds roll around, backup has just barely enough boost to get this across the field, but this is not where you want to be if you're Frost with 10 seconds rolling around. Angel with a shot runs out of boost, and was probably expecting Rooney to make a touch so he could dunk him. Backup with enough boost and enough time, but a shot on target! Straight into the back of the net as Frost is in shambles as they will let this into the back of their net with a second to go.
Backup with the chance to be the savior of the sweep puts the ball in the back of the net, and what a shot. And barring something crazy, Crows going to run away with the sweep, and that's all. But that's gonna happen as the Crows put their record above 500 and send Frost on their way.
I just want to say shout out to backup. That is a shot you don't really see the Novice League make very often when all the pressure is on you. 10 seconds left on the clock, open net. I feel like most players are going to choke that shot. I might choke that shot, to be honest with you. But backup was not having it. He is the hero. Angel played an incredible part in this new roster. They looked great as a 3-man unit. But I mean, the man of the hour is a Chad for sure, as he carried his team across the finish line to a dominant 3-0 sweep of the former finalists from last season. And if you're Frost, is it back to the drawing board or what? Because that was a shaky series.
I don't think it's back to the drawing board for them. I do think they need to get some games in. They need to get a little bit of chemistry here and there, and they need to put their shots on target as they just overcommitted way too much, left the defense open, and even on that last goal, like someone charged the ball, and there was no one in their net. Like all backup had to do was put the shot on target, and that's game. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, you never want to see a sweep one series, but it is entertaining when a team just decides enough is enough, and we're going to dominate today. And that is exactly what we saw from the Crows, as they will advance to 2-1 and send Frost packing down to 1-2. Not a great start for either team, but Crows, they're happy to be above 500 heading into games on Wednesday, where hopefully they can get themselves going in the right direction. If you're Frost, I don't know if it's I think you're right. I don't know if it's to the drawing board yet, as we did see some glimpses of greatness, but they definitely have to clean up their 3rd man rotation. But either way, Jaegers, that is all the time for us, as we do have some more bangers, hopefully longer series coming up for the rest of the night. It's been a pleasure. Any final words before we send it off?
No, Magic, it's always a pleasure. I do wish this one went to 5 so we got to cast a little bit longer, but GG's to the Crows, and see you next series.
Yep, and no one go anywhere, as the action is just now ramping up as we head our way up further into the better leagues, as we will head into the Prospect League next, so don't go anywhere.
See ya.